Hello, this is Mr. Stolle from Your Tutors. Okay, so you guys can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We do actually what called tutoring for what called maths and science subjects. Okay, now today we're going to look into finance for grade 10. Okay, and that's the first class here. But what I would like to start with here in my class is questions, okay, so that you can test yourself if you are good to actually if you have the knowledge here to get the accumulated amount, principal amount, interest, and also what called the period. Okay, so what you can do, you can actually try to do them. If you can't do them, this lesson is for you. Okay, so now let's start with interest. So interest is a percentage that is either charged. So we're talking of what of interest is what called a certain percentage that is charged. What is it on money borrowed or earned on money that is invested. So it means that if you borrow money, you're going to pay back with an interest rate. So you are charged an interest rate, a certain amount above that. Then if you are to invest money, you actually gain what called some more money there. So what you get there, you get what called a certain amount, and that's what called interest. So, but this is where with a what called interest rate, which is a percentage. Okay. Now, what do banks do? Banks lend you money, and also you can also invest with banks. So when you invest with them, they what call your money increases, but it doesn't increase the same way it increases when you borrow. So because they want to make profit, so interest of borrowing and interest of investing, they're actually different. So it's actually higher when you're borrowing. Now we have two types of interest here: simple interest and compound interest. So simple interest is charged what is it for? It's for a short period of time. So this one is for just say the short period. Okay, then when it's compound interest, it's actually for a long what call investments or long what call for loans. Okay, so here is what we have there. So when it's with simple interest, the type of loan that you have there with simple interest is what called hire purchase. Okay, hire purchase. How you take maybe your fridge from what call those furniture shops, couches. You can actually buy them on hire purchase that you pay monthly, a certain monthly what you call fee to cover that. So simple interest is calculated using the only original amount. So you charge on original amount. That's how it's simple interest. So simple interest remains the same, it doesn't change. But with compound interest now, it changes over time. Let's get to understand here in terms of graphs here. When you look at it in terms of graphs, we see that compound interest is charged on the accumulated amount, and the simple interest is charged on the original amount. So what happens is that your simple interest, the value of interest, simple interest is the same. So here, that's why we have a linear, what called growth. So this is a linear. Let me just reduce my pen here. It's a linear growth. Then here is exponential growth for what you call for compound. Okay, exponential growth. Now, so that's what happens. So it's better to invest with compound interest than with linear what's called with the simple interest, because you earn more here in terms of the money. So here is our principal, the initial amount, then this one is the accumulated amount. But now let's get to understand how do we calculate these things. Okay, simple interest and what called compound interest. So here, when it comes to simple interest, we have A equal to P in bracket 1 plus IN. Okay, your question is, what is this A? A is accumulated amount. Accumulated amount. Because remember, you're borrowing money here. When you borrow money, and it's going to increase, and that final value is what called accumulated amount. But the amount that you borrow, we call it principal amount. So this one is our principal amount. This is the original amount, original value, or what called money invested, or money that is borrowed. So here we are talking of what is it? The initial amount that you're talking about. That's what we call initial amount. Initial amount. So that's what is happening here. But what about I? Our I is our interest rate. Just put another color there. interest rate, and you see it, work it as a percentage. What about n? N is number of years. Number of years. Okay, that's our n. Now, what about when it comes to compound interest? Let's look at compound interest. We have got A is equals to P 1 plus I of n. So here is an exponent now. The n is an exponent here, but remember, it's still the same thing. A represents your accumulated amount, P is your principal amount, I your interest rate, and n number of years, or we can say it number of compounding periods. Okay, now let's look at it and see. Let's look at what we call Peter invest. We are calculating accumulated amount in this case. Peter invests an amount of 7,500 in a bank. Calculate using appropriate formula the accumulated amount after 72 months, okay, and the total interest. So here we're calculating accumulated amount and also total interest you will receive if the interest rate is 4.5% per annum simple interest and 4.5% per annum what we call compound interest. So here you can see that our n here period is in terms of months, but we want it in years. So we're going to say here our n is going to be 72 over 12. We're converting months to years. Then this one will give us 72. Let's see here, 72 divided by 12. What do we get? We get 6 years. Okay, what about the percentage? The interest, our interest here is 4.5 over 100, which is actually what we call 0.045. What is that? Our interest. What else do we have there? We also have our P, principal amount, money invested is 7,000. What we call 500. Okay, that's what we have there. So let's try to calculate the accumulated amount for this one here. And this side here, accumulated amount for simple interest is going to be equals to P 1 plus IN. Okay, let's substitute that 7,500. 1 plus 1 plus 0.045 times 6. Okay, then we get the answer there. Then let's see here when it's compound. What we try to calculate there, try to punch it and see what you get there and see, compare if we're getting the same thing. 7,500, 1 plus our I is 0.045 in bracket to the power of 6. Okay. Okay, so this is what we're getting here. You get 9,525, 9,766 here when it's compound. So you can see that you are earning more when you are using compound interest, but when it's simple interest, you are earning less. But now, how do we get the interest now? The interest, okay, interest, that additional amount above the principal, which is your 7,500. How do you get that? You are going to say accumulated amount minus principal amount. Okay, so here is the same thing here. Interest is gonna be equals to accumulated amount minus principal amount. Let's get to see what we get there. So we're going to say 9,525 minus 7,500. Then you're also going to say here 9,766.95 minus 7,500. Let's see what we get there. So you can see here the interest that you are getting on the simple interest is 2,025, but the interest that you're getting here is more interest, 2,267. So it's better to invest with compound interest than simple interest. But with simple interest, again, you can also use the formula here, which is I is equals to PRT. P principal, R is the rate, then T is time in years. Okay, so but I encourage that you use this one here because this one only applies for what is it for simple interest only. So here you can punch here 7,500 multiply by your rate, which is 0.045 times 6. That's what we get. That's what you just do there. Let's see here. It's gonna be 7,500 times 0.045 times 6, you get the same thing, 2025. Okay, now let's get to see how do you calculate principal amount here. 4 years ago, a certain amount of money was invested in a bank. The value of the investment is currently 460,000. Calculate the original amount invested, which is P, if the interest rate is 4.15 per annum, simple interest, and 4.15 per annum compound interest. Now, what do we do here? We know from the formulas, A here for simple interest is going to be equals to P1 plus IN, okay? And for compound, we know that is A is equals to P1 plus I, what called to the power of N. But now what do we do? We are looking for P here. What do we do? We're going to say P is going to be equals to A divided by 1 plus IN, okay? Then here, what do we do on this one here? We're going to say our P is going to be equals to A1 plus, what is it, over 1 plus I to the power of N, which now comes as A in bracket 1 plus I to the power of negative N. Let's put it like that, negative N. Where do we get that? You know that from our exponent, that if we've got 1 over A to the power of N, this means that it's A to the power negative N. Okay, so we can actually use this formula to calculate our what you call our principal value. So for this one here, you can use what you call, you can say P is therefore A to the power of 1 plus IN to the power negative 1. So you can use that as a formula as well. So just now, we're just going to input the values that we have. Our A is 460,000. 1 plus, what is our I? Is 0.0415. Okay. What is our N? Our N is 4. Our N is 4 there to the power negative 1. And what about for this side here? Let's see. It's going to be equals to 460,000. In bracket 1 plus 0.0415 to the power of negative 4. Okay. Now let's see what we get there. Let's punch that and see what we get. Okay, so this is what we get here. You can see that you're getting 394,511.15 cents, and here is 390,949.57 cents. So here you can see that when you can invest less, you can see that you can invest less with compound interest, okay, and still get the same amount. So it means that compound interest is actually the best way, but it depends when you are borrowing, because it's going to accumulate what you call, and you're going to pay more when you borrow, okay. But when you're investing, it's actually good, okay. So thank you so much, guys. Until next time, bye bye.